If you're interested in making golf your career, but you don't really know what a career in golf looks like, this video is for you. I'm going to show you the 3 most common career paths and what those career paths look like on a day-to-day basis. I knew that I love golf and being around the game of golf, but I didn't know what a PGA professional really did. Now, a quick history about me. I went to Penn State and graduated in 2014 in the PGM program there, or Professional Golf Management. And over your summers, you take internships to fulfill your internship credits. My first notable internship was at the country club in Brookline, Massachusetts, working a mixture between outside operations and inside, and got a pretty good grasp of the entire operation as a whole. I was fortunate to receive an invite to go back the following year in 2013 and to complete another 3-month internship there. In 2013, the country club held the U.S. Amateur when Matt Fitzpatrick won. After the U.S. Amateur, I flew out to Bandon Dunes and worked at Bandon Dunes Golf Resort for the following 3 months. I spent time working in the Bandon Dunes golf shop and learned what it was like to work at a resort. I then flew back to Penn State, finished my last semester at college, completed my last internship at Congressional Country Club. While at Congressional Country Club, I spent the majority of my time in the golf shop, running tournaments, running the day-to-day, and assisting with a big junior program. I went back to school at the end of the summer to graduate, and then returned to Congressional to finish out the duration of my internship. So upon graduation, I was a Class A PGA Professional. I then took my first job out of college as a PGA Professional at Pine Tree Golf Club down in Boynton Beach, Florida, and spent 3 months there working in the wintertime. At the end of the winter season, I then drove across the country to Jackson, Wyoming, where I started my first seasonal assistant PGA Professional job at Shooting Star. After my first season at Shooting Star, I went back to Pine Tree and worked inside the golf shop before returning back to Shooting Star for another season. At the end of that season, my boss landed the job in Chicago at North Shore Country Club, where I was able to follow him to Chicago for the first assistant professional role. Working at North Shore, I ended up leaving the golf business, but quickly realizing that the golf business was certainly for me. I'm now entering my 4th season as the PGA head professional at Sunset Ridge Country Club. So now let's get into the 3 most common career paths as a PGA professional. What does a head golf professional do? It varies by what club you were at or in what setting you're at. So if you're a head golf professional at a private country club, your roles will consist of essentially being the CEO and operator of the golf operation itself. Everything from outside operations and overseeing the management of that. How are the golf carts staged? What kind of golf balls are used on the practice facilities? What equipment is on the practice facilities? Is it the green buckets, wooden carrying case, or a pyramid? It's up to you to make those decisions. Putting systems in place to facilitate the outside operation experience. You manage budgets. You have to have some business acumen. Some country clubs may include ownership of the golf shop into your compensation package. That includes buying and selling of all the merchandise in the shop. So that would be all the equipment, golf balls, gloves, sunglasses, golf shirts, sweaters, all of the merchandise that goes along with that. The golf professional and the golf team can come together and make decisions on what kind of brands you're carrying, how much are you buying, when. And that's an entire business in itself that could really be looked at separate from the golf operation. Other responsibilities that a head golf professional are responsible for are giving lessons. Typically, members have a good relationship with the head golf professional, as that person is the go-to person for their needs at the club. The head professional is also responsible for continuing education and supporting their assistant golf professionals beneath them. The head professional will oversee all tournament operations. Typically, there are quite a few events that the club will run, like a ladies' day or a men's day, couples events on the weekends, your club championship, season-long team events, season-long singles events. So there is a wide variety of events that the club will coordinate and host, and that are member events. So the head professional will oversee all of those events and make sure that the events are on budget, run well. Now, typically, the head professional will divvy up those responsibilities to the assistant golf professionals on staff to have ownership of those events, task them with running the event, knowing that the head professional is there for support. The head professional will also have a role in determining the structure of golf instruction programs. So whether that's junior golf clinics and the junior golf program as a whole, ladies clinics, men's clinics, if there's couples clinics, individual lessons, is there someone on staff that's the director of instruction, which we'll get to later, the head professional will also be just a steward of the game. So they are someone that represents the club and the game of golf well. That means that they're going to be present at social events, typically be there early in the mornings to see those early morning players that tee off on the weekends. The head professional will spend time on the first tee, starting groups if there's tee times, welcoming members and guests of the club. In order to become a head golf professional, the role beneath that is an assistant golf professional. So what's an assistant golf professional do? The assistant professional really wears many hats in the golf operation, so they will be the ones that are behind the counter, answering the phone, reserving tee times, to book lessons, managing pace of play, to starting groups on the first tee, charging the tee sheet. They'll be the ones that are actually facilitating the instruction, junior programs, or the clinics, assisting the members and their guests with their needs. Typically, the head professional will award each assistant golf professional some or all of the tournaments on the tournament calendar. So the responsibilities of running a successful club-hosted tournament rely on that assistant golf professional. So that includes gathering the information for who's going to be playing in the event, possibly setting up a way for them to register online, to gather guest information from the member, to coordinate with food and beverage departments and other departments at the club. They are in charge of communication to the members or to the guests, encourage a sense of enthusiasm surrounding the event. They will make sure the scorecards are dotted, that they look presentable, that the names and handicaps are accurate, and they will be the ones collecting the scorecards. Typically at a private club, the assistant professionals will go into the golf shop, into the golf office, and score it, go into the club and announce the winners of the event. So this will help assistant professionals get comfortable public speaking. They also may have an oversight of the outside operation in some structures where their primary focus is not events and it's not rangering, but their primary focus is being the liaison between the outside operation and make sure that the systems that are in place while working with the head professional are working and that the customer service side of things is working well. Another assistant golf professional role may be the golf shop business manager. So they might have oversight of, call it soft goods and hard goods. So soft goods would be merchandise, shirts, polos, hoodies, sweaters, button downs, and hard goods, bags and clubs and equipment. Sometimes, depending on the staffing levels, one assistant may have the soft goods, one assistant may have the hard goods, or one assistant might just have both. That person will have to have strong business acumen to be able to make sure that bills are paid on time, to receive the product, ensure that what we had ordered is what actually arrived, and that the items are displayed well on the golf shop floor. That professional may run inventory every month or quarter. They'll be instrumental on the day-to-day tasks, setting up someone with rental clubs if they need, telling them the difference between two types of golf balls, with the overarching goal that this is a service business. The goal is to make sure the members and the guests are having a great time. Now, another career path that is very popular is teaching, and specifically becoming a director of instruction. So a typical day for the director of instruction is that they're going to spend the majority of their time outside on the lesson tape. They'll be on the driving range, individual lessons, running clinics, helping out with junior programs. They might position themselves on the range to be available before an event. What I would recommend, if that you're interested in teaching, definitely work for or at least shadow a director of instruction to see what it's like to spend all day outside. Director of instruction at a private club will be the lead in developing instructional programs. They will work hand in hand with the head professional to ensure that everybody is taken care of at the club and their instruction needs. Typically, private clubs that have a director of instruction have a large need of individual lessons. Now, how do you become a director of instruction? If your goal is to become a head professional, then you want to be an assistant professional. Now, if your goal is to become a director of instruction, Typically, you're not going to want to be an assistant golf professional. So what you want to do is you're going to want to work for a director of instruction at either a club, a resort, or a teaching facility. Identifying what your goal is as a golf professional and what drives you. If what drives you is teaching, work towards becoming director of instruction so that way you can prioritize specializing in that aspect. Now, don't get me wrong, assistant golf professionals will still teach, but that will be one of the many things that they do. Whereas an instructor is solely responsible for learning about golf instruction, improving their craft, and teaching. I hope that this video painted a pretty clear picture for each of the three roles that I covered. And if you're interested in the game of golf, I'm going to show you what it may be like on a day-to-day basis. For more golf and golf business content, hit the subscribe button and follow for more.